Oh my God.
That was Eddy Kwon
That was
performing
incredible.
Seep.
I mean,
And
it's
So,
hard enough just to play
Eddie,
the violin, let alone play the violin, whistle, dramatize, sing, luck on there. It's
yeah.
amazing.
so Eddie will be here in a second. We'll be able to ask them questions. And and uh, anyway, that was amazing. I can't wait.
And thank you very much. That piece was commissioned by an anonymous patron. So
And
you're out there somewhere. I don't know who you
thank you for
are.
and for any of you out there who are anonymous, you can also commission music here for the next round of these because there will be future rounds of this.
Even if
So
you're not anonymous, also, that's welcome to help support the creation of these new works.
so
Okay.
Eddie,
woo! Eddie, that
Eddie,
was
that was
Hi.
amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's
oh,
fantastic
fantastic
to
to
have
have
you.
you.
I'm
I'm
hearing
hearing
an
an
echo.
echo.
Is anyone
Is anyone
hearing
hearing
it
it
other
other
than
than
me?
me?
Okay, how about now?
I hear you as an echo, David. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Oh,
you
this
have
is
another.
better. I think this
Maybe
is
you have
better.
another device on. That's better. Yeah.
No, that okay. So I have a question for you. Okay, because this is so theatrical, right? The way you look, your facial expression, the fact that it seems like there's a story going from start to finish. Can you just tell us what actually is going on and what you're doing and um, how it came to be put together?
Yeah, thank you so much. Um, the way that I thought about this piece was almost like visiting this beautiful, ancient, lush forest in a dream. And as you tread and navigate through the forest, all of these characters start to seep out of the trees and the dirt and the rocks and the moss. And some of them are gods, and some are spirits, and some are tricksters, and some are ancestors. And they kind of swirl around and seep into me. And so that was the kind of world that I wanted to build with this piece. A little dream-like, very kind of damp and lush, and you kind of don't know what's going to pop up next.
And it's absolutely beautiful and so impressive. Just all of the worlds that you're accessing. You're the multitasking, to say the least. I was just curious if you could share any of the influences. I mean, it feels like you're drawing from different musical worlds. It's so unique that the fusion is so unique. But I was wondering, are there parts of your musical experience as you developed as any point as a musician that you're bringing into this mix that we might not be aware of?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. I'm inspired so much by Korean folk music and traditional music, and all of the different traditions of storytelling in Korea. And so, while I've never formally studied it, I've just sort of tried to imbibe as much as I can and tap into whatever is accessible to me. So that's those elements with the voice and some of the violin playing where I'm trying to channel a little bit of some of those folk instruments. And then of course I'm inspired and I've learned so much from the great singing violinists of our time like Carla Kjellstedt and Viva Vitova and all those that really paved the way for the next generation to try singing and playing.
Well, that's great to hear. That's wonderful. I mean, I can hear those connections, but then again, it's so different. It's you've taken it into such a unique direction. But it's wonderful to hear that history of inspiration
Yeah.
from both the singer players, but also from the traditional Korean music. Fascinating.
Yeah, I could see the connection with Carla, who we had on very early. I can't remember, maybe the first or second one of these that we did when the whole pandemic started. But you're definitely adding a whole dimension to this, and it almost felt like an opera of some kind. The extension into the theater.
Well, it feels like you're embodying a character, you know,
Yeah,
and it's beautiful.
thank you. Yeah, I try to embody and be taken over by many different characters, sometimes one at a time, and other times you know, simultaneously, and trying to hold all of that together. And thank you, Michael. Carla is such a big hero of mine. So
I love that you said taken over. That is such a great way of talking about, like, instead of like I'm acting the character or I'm taken over. That was great. That's just a really great, powerful way of talking about, you know, developing character.
Since you were singing in Korean, do you want to give us the translation?
oh, sure. Yeah, so the opening says sound is an opening and sound is a soft door. Um, and then the next character comes and says, flower boy, where are you going? Um, dissolve the state unto the land, or dissolve the nation unto the land. No beginning and no end. And then when I start doing sort of the arpeggios, that text is, flower boy, where are you going? Let's dig a well. What is it? Oh, water hole, butthole, dig it all up. And then that's the laughing, that's the trickster character. And then the end is in English, of course, no beginning and no end.
Okay, I have to ask you about the whistling because you're like a great whistler. I mean, there's whistle and there's we've had some beautiful Ken whistled so beautifully earlier in Anna Klein's piece, and so but there's some kind of sound. Is that something you're thinking about? Is there some kind of like bright sound to your whistling? Is that just what it is, or?
You know, that's so funny that you say that, and I'm gonna hold on to that one for a while, because when I was a kid, I could not whistle at all. And I remember sitting in my room thinking, if I could only whistle, I would be happy. Turns out it's a little bit more complicated than that. But I just slowly started chipping away, and I never tried to become good at whistling. I just was, you know, living with it for a while. And I don't know, I just love the sounds of birds. And that's really, I'm not caring too much about the exact pitches. And I'm just trying to evoke a little bit of bird call sounds with that in this piece. But thank you.
Eddy, thanks so much for the world premiere of Seep.
Well, thank you all so much for inviting me. I'm so honored to be here.
Great to have you.